What's up, everyone? How is everyone doing this Wednesday night, off night stream? Because, well, it's Wednesday. I only stream on Fridays now, so, what's going on? Before I dive into a lot of it, let me explain some things. The delay on this stream is going to be much larger than it is on our normal streams over on YouTube. Um, I am working on transferring all of the streams from our YouTube channel that I've been streaming on all year, or all of 2021, over to Facebook. That way, everybody can watch the content. I thought I started it before I went to bed, thinking it would be done by now, and it's been running since about 10 o'clock last night, and I'm only at 66%. So, do with that information if you will. So, if the stream lags, if the stream buffers, you're just gonna have to bear with me. I can't pause it. I can't do anything like that. So I apologize. Like I said, I figured it would be done by now, and it's not. And I didn't want to have to delay this stream any further than what the other stream than I did on Monday. So, but yeah. So just to let you know. Plus, I'm in a new-ish environment. I had to do some massive redecorating of my room, so my desk setup and my desk are all in different places, so this is just new to me. So if the mic sounds bad, if the lighting in the back looks bad, I'm still learning all this. So bear with me. I'm going to do one thing really quick just to see if it'll help, because I don't know. Typically, this is what I usually do to keep that from happening. So, okay. So, hopefully, like I said, I'm working with the best I can. So, just bear with me. Please. I beg of thee. So, yeah. So, welcome to tonight's stream. As you can tell, title, thumbnail, what we are doing tonight is taking a journey. This Lenten season is all about journeys. We're on a 40-day journey from now until the time of Christ returns, and this is going to be a journey. Our ministry, our core youth and children's student ministry, whatever I call it anymore, has been delivering online content now for a year exactly. And who would have thought that? Almost 200 videos. Actually, I think it's over 200 videos, depending on what platform you look on. I know YouTube, I think, is like 186, and I think Facebook is close to 212, I want to say. Either way, for almost 2/3 of the year, I and my team have been delivering you content for almost 2/3 of a year, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. And I want to kick off tonight by just saying thank you. Without your guys' support, we really wouldn't have had this opportunity to do so. And like everybody else, we pivoted when the pandemic came around, and I think we pivoted relatively successfully. There are some things I can look back on and wish I did better, but that's the benefit of hindsight. But for the moment that we're in now, I believe we have done better. So if you're watching, hello, hi, say hello in the chat. I would love to interact with you. This is going to be a very interactable stream. So don't be afraid to not say anything. Say hi, do the normal stuff, share the stream out with friends, family, because this is a celebration night and we're celebrating all together. So, like I said, come in and say hi and all that. So yeah, I'm going to give it a little bit more time, let people get settled in, because I know first stream on Facebook in almost 2 months. But what can I say? I wanted to do this stream on Facebook instead of YouTube, because we started off our content on YouTube, and most of our content has been on Facebook, and most of our content has been on Facebook. Only recently have I done YouTube exclusive content. So I just thought it was fair to you guys to do it on YouTube. Say what you want about that, but that's my reasoning. So, but all in all, I want to dive into this. We're going to start from the beginning, work all the way up to today. And funny enough, we had videos. We had a video upload today too. So it's been a nice kind of full circle style event to have videos upload both days. But I'm just happy. I'm happy to do this. I almost did cancel tonight's stream because I had some stuff come up today and it really kind of kicked my butt. But I wanted to power through and I wanted to stream. I thought tonight's stream was going to be a fun one. It is going to be a fun one. And we might not last the full 3 hours. And if you know the differences between my stream on YouTube on Fridays, I typically go 8 to midnight. Today's stream is going to be 8 to 11. So we might not even hit the full 3 hours. I don't know. If we don't, we don't. If we do, cool. I don't know what really I want or how really I want to pivot this. So, but I think it's time enough. Without further ado, let's get into it. So now what you're going to see before you in a minute, give me a second, is what I can consider our creator studio. It's the behind the scenes for our Facebook page that helps me kind of organize our social media posts for both Facebook and Instagram. And this is where we're going to spend most of the night tonight, just talking about videos. And this will have a more accurate number as far as the number of videos goes. So, I gotta make sure I can still read chat. So I've just figured this will be a good time. I do have our YouTube studio opened up and ready as well. So right now I'm just trying to get to the bottom because these are just videos, just the videos that I have uploaded, we have uploaded to this channel, or to this page. Channel, I guess it is technically a channel now because I changed some of the what did I call them? Templates. I changed some of the templates for this, for our page to be more focused on videos. So, there you go. So, yeah. So I'd say, without further ado, I think it's time when we just dive right into the first video. I'm going to move this one too real quick. So if you're just joining me, welcome. As you can read, title, thumbnail, we are going over our 1 year journey on Facebook. We're going to go over the different things that we have done over the course of Facebook, over the course of our 1 year of online ministry. So if you're here, don't be afraid. Say hello in the chat. I would love to talk with you, have this conversation with you. So we're just actually about ready to dive into the very first video I ever posted to this channel. And to give some context to this video, shortly after the pandemic started, I wasn't feeling well. It's hard to kind of explain what I was feeling, but it took me a couple weeks to kind of snap out of it and get back in gear. So so that's why it's a couple weeks late, or a couple weeks after the pandemic technically started. So let's begin. Oh, I remember. So one thing I will regret from starting videos is how long I left just a static image, because I didn't know how to overlay audio like I do for our streams, and how long I'm doing them, because I'm so worried about, sharing it out and getting it out there and waiting on people to come. I usually wait until, I used to wait until I got a full audience, but my gosh, was this how laggy the video was to start with? And why haven't I said anything? Come on, Mark, you're 8 minutes into the video.
Okay. Think we're doing good? Doing okay?
Oh, I remember the beginning stages of this.
Okay. Say so in the comments, because
If you guys need me to turn it up because the volume's quiet, it's quiet for me, even.
on my tablet, right?
So if you need me to turn it up, just let me know. Almost 10 minutes into the video and I never got started with it. How do you guys put up with me? I swear. But I remember the setup because, go figure, I was battling internet issues, but I really was to the point where my computer wasn't just connecting to internet. So I had to move my recording studio or my computer setup downstairs. So this is in my sunroom at the back of my house. And I'm sitting at our dining room table with my old laptop, which is one of those laptops that flips into a tablet. So I'm using that camera and that mic while running OBS and connecting to Facebook. And I remember too having my tablet, which I think you saw me pull across, so I can read chat because my computer was already running slow. It could barely just handle that, let alone the full length of this video. So
Giving everybody a little extra time to jump in. I know there's not going to be that many people right now, and that's okay.
see, told you I was still just as worried about getting people here than I wasn't.
No, Elizabeth, I think Kenny's doing it for the sake of being Kenny, and that would be something he would do. Hope's just doing it for the sake of Hope doing it. Only my kids. Okay. So we'll get started. This will be kind of a short stream, but I wanted to give everybody an update. First update is I'm alive. I know I've been kind of on hiatus for about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I had a really bad chest cold. I hadn't been that sick in a long time. Yes, it's like real core for sure. But at the same time, I'm feeling better. This 2.5 week period of not working has been weird.
Oh yeah, so I remember too the date that we got told that we're shutting down for the pandemic was Friday the 13th. Friday, March 13th, 2020. And it's kind of that eeriness of like being told on Friday the 13th. But I remember how heartbroken I was because I had so much planned at that time. I had an Easter craft day for our children's ministry going. I had a lock-in plan for our youth. We had our normal programming throughout the week. I just felt like I had so much, and now we're canceling all that. Corey and Wednesday Night Live is canceled. Sunday school is canceled. No Easter breakfast this year, none of that. And it's like, I mean, it just took out everything I would work so hard on, and it just killed me. And I still questioned it today whether or not it was a true whether or not it was a true chest cold, because what really helped snap me out of this rut was my friend Jennifer telling me, I was kind of telling her how I was feeling, and she just said the simple phrase of like, yeah, it sounds like it's all in your head. And from that moment, I started to realize, I think you're right. Because I turned into probably one of the worst hypochondriacs, of course, at the worst time ever. Um, so, so it was just one of those cases where I had to just get out of this mindset snap and just get going. Start my own pivoting to what it's going to be and what this unknowing future is going to be like. So it was just one of those cases.
That long on something in forever, but I'm just glad to be back. And there's a lot I want to say with um, being sick like that and what it kind of did to my mentality and all that, but I can talk about that a little bit later. No, Kenny, wasn't corona. It was just a really bad chest cold. 2 doctor's appointment reaffirmed that for me.
I had a hard time believing that. I said I had two separate.
A variety of symptoms, but every time I went to the doctor, my temperature was at 98. I wasn't coughing. My lungs sounded very good from the doctor's perspective. So what I'm thinking had happened was it was probably more so a stress cold, which is weird for me to say, but I think with the fear, the anxiety, and the stress of everything that's happened within the last week, 2-3 weeks, I think all that finally came up to me, and this cold was kind of God's way of just slowing me down, giving me some time to focus on me, focus on myself.
That I still believe.
And yeah, so I'm coming back a lot better. I probably could have came back sooner, but I wanted to really give myself as much time as I can. And I'm thankful for Elizabeth and Pastor and the whole church for just supporting me through all this. I know, trust me, I didn't want to get sick and I didn't want to take as much time off as I did, but we're back, and this leads me to where we're going with our youth and children's ministry. Obviously, at least as of right now, everything youth and children's ministry wise is suspended until April 12th, until at least Easter. I know Trump put out an extension on the.
So young, so naive. Little did I know that we would not be back by that Easter.
National voluntary stay-at-home order until April 30th. I haven't heard anything from Pastor as far as our continuation of that. Governor Whitmer hasn't put any extension on our current stay-at-home order. I heard she is supposed to later on in the week, so just keep an eye out on all that. I will do my best to update you via Facebook as best I can with the information I have. So this will be new. This will be something that I've wanted to try for a while, but this will be new. On Sundays for Sunday school, for my Sunday school kids that are here, we've been going through the Bible Project every so often when we have a full class to talk about spiritual beings. I am going to restart that lesson series and continue it. I will set it up via PowerPoint like a normal lesson plan would be, and it will be recorded. That'll be recorded content. I will be recording it during the week, finalizing, editing, and publishing, and the content will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, which somebody remind me, and I'll put a link to our YouTube channel on our Facebook page after the stream. But we will continue our spiritual being study on there. Each lesson, so it's I think an 8-week study. So each Sunday for the next 8 weeks, we will continue that. They will be uploaded to our YouTube channel at 9 a.m. Eastern, which will simulate our Sunday school. it'll
I
be
don't
a
know why I felt
similar
the need to say
style
Eastern.
to
It's
how
not like
this stream
we're
is set up,
not
except I'm
all
a
in the same time district.
professional streamer now and using OBS to help record this for me. So um, it'll be set up a little more professionally. I'm probably overcomplicating it, but at this point, I'm okay with it. Bear with me too, because using my laptop is nowhere close to being powerful, and this, um, even streaming like this, is taking up a decent bit of my CPU. Um, but we're trying, we're going for it. So expect Sunday school content at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on our YouTube channel. If you can't get to our YouTube channel, I will share it to our Facebook page as soon as I can. Um, yeah, all this talk about live streaming has made me think of OBS and how to use it for worship. Um, and there hasn't been enough time in the day to put forth an effort. But yeah, I'd love to use OBS for our worship live streaming capabilities. I think it'll be an awesome program to utilize once we get a better setup and everything. But it'll be cool. I'm excited for that.
Oh my gosh, I remember we're still going through updates for our
So yes,
live streaming
Bible
setup.
Project, I have to check with Bible Project's website and see where they're at as far as copyright goes. I don't want to explicitly use their content, even though it's
I'm
free
jumping through.
nonprofit. I can get from both our children, our kids, our adults. I'm going to try and work together with everybody on this to try and make sure we offer the best content available. It's a new environment for me, and I can utilize the space better as my office than I can in my room. But we'll probably be in my room for recording, so the setup might be a little different behind me, but the content will be just as good. So, recap: Wednesdays, core, 4 o'clock, Facebook Live. Help spread the word. That's going to be the biggest thing right now. Unfortunately, I don't have all my contact material for all of our kids. Most of that is at the office, which I can't get to right now. I'm still not 100% over this chest cold, so I don't want to take the chance of going in. I'm like 98% there, but I don't want to take the chance of going in and doing all the work that our disinfectant team has done. So so I'm kind of at a standstill right now. So if you can and you have contacts or can get a hold of the other core kids to contact the other core kids, please do so. If they can't get to Facebook, the Facebook Lives I will upload them to YouTube as well, so they are also able to reach the content. But please do it.
That part right there, that whole concept of reaching out to our kids who haven't been there, and I'm sorry I've been so quiet. It's been kind of interesting to hear again this, like, my initial mindset behind what we were doing. And I kind of wish I had gone back to listen to this a lot sooner. But the concept that I haven't been able, didn't get all the contact information to reach all of our kids, which the 2019 to 2020 year, our youth group had grown so large, and I can make up a whole list of excuses, but I just didn't get all their contact information, and still don't. And that feeling of not being able to reach anybody for this long has always been one of my biggest regrets. And I've talked to some of our leadership at the church, and they've really tried to help me affirm that we can't, you can't live in the past. What has happened, and you just try to make the best of it now. And I've done a decent job at that. I'm not going to say it still doesn't bother me from time to time, but I remember how frustrated I was. But our community has grown in ways that I hadn't thought it would. So I am thankful for that, nonetheless.
Do everything in your power to contact them. It's not struggling too bad to run the stream now. That'll be all age programming. If it doesn't work out, we will investigate. I'll end the stream in about 5 minutes. It gives me a full half-hour recording. So does anybody have any final questions? I apologize for the people coming in late. questions. I don't see any other comments, so I will end it here with this prayer. Father God, we give thanks for all the good that you're showing even during this tough time. Lord, we give thanks for the different ways we can connect with each other, we can communicate with each other, we can still share your good news, the good news of your Son. God, you always seem to wring good out of the bad. I pray as we go forward through this week that we can see more of the good in your world. Even through this trying time, even through the pandemic, miracles will be shown, and we know you will be behind it all. Lord, we pray for those that are battling COVID-19, the families that are battling COVID-19 with them, all the people on the front line that are many, many people, the nurses, doctors, hospital workers, grocery clerks, etc. All of them, Lord, be with them, protect them, lend your healing touch over them. They are the heroes of all this, and they for sure couldn't do it without your guidance, your grace, and your love and your mercy. Lord, we continue to just be here as we go through this lockdown, as we go through the quarantine. Lord, be with us. Calm our anxieties, calm our fears. Let us grow in faith and know that you've got it. You've handled this. You got all of us in your hands. Lord, we give you as much praise as possible. We ask that you be with us as we continue. Let your will shine. Let the cure be found. And we can get back to our version of normality to do your great work. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right.
So young, so naive. It definitely feels like that, and none of us knew what the heck was gonna happen. Just none of us did, and that's fine. It is. None of us knew what was going on. So now this video was our first lesson ever. I restarted a series we were doing in person called Salt and Light, and I think you can tell by the title what it means or what it's going to be about. So, and I remember, because it was April Fool's Day that day, that I wanted to play Christmas music as a way of, haha, gotcha. Very cheesy, very terrible joke. So, and of course, Facebook muted it.
Holidays. My little April Fool's Day type prank with playing Christmas music on April Fool's Day. I was trying to think of something cheesy, corny, my joke style, and that was it.
At least I held up to my potential.
I'm going to, if you see me looking over, I have the stream next to me just to make sure everything's running good and sounding good. So yeah, so welcome. I still have time. Share this stream out, get it out to everybody. The more people we reach, the better. For those that don't have Facebook, I know you can still watch it, but don't worry, the stream will hopefully be going to YouTube. I'm hoping to download and export that tonight or tomorrow. So it will be on our YouTube channel. I don't have a good hyperlink, but if you search Core Youth Group, you will see the same logo that you just witnessed for the last 15 minutes. As the Beatitude, if you have your Bible nearby, you can read your own. So we're again restarting our.
So yeah, I remember too, working with my laptop, I didn't have two monitors like I do now, and I always felt guilty because it's like, oh crap, you guys can see OBS in the meantime, how dare. But it's like, yeah, whatever. I mean, there's not a whole lot I can do. but I remember feeling like this is. I remember this feeling, and looking back, it just kind of strengthens this. Like, oh, this is just so janky. This is so crap, and it's not quality. It's like, ugh. But I have to remember to, at the time, it's what I have. Because unfortunately, I got rid of my webcam because I wasn't using it. And I had just taken it up to the church to donate it. And of course, the COVID pandemic started. And it's like, well, dang it. So I tried to run this system. And I was bad. I'm better now, but I'm bad at memorizing the lesson. So, and I hated this setup to look over at the other screen because that's where the script was, and I couldn't have it on my laptop because that was what was doing the streaming and that's what was doing the recording. And it's like, well, shoot, that doesn't leave me well. So I remember, and I hated that. So I ended up turning myself, and so unprofessional for me to do that midstream to adjust to it all, and then just fix all that. And the camera angles sucked, and just wasn't happy with it. But we got through it, and there's kind of the start of the ministry. For the first couple months, it was pretty much lessons. I tried to do some fun stuff in between too, because my goal was and is the idea of my goal is my goal is like double faceted. Like, obviously the main goal is to teach the Bible to you guys, to share the word of God with you guys, all that kind of stuff, but to also give you guys that entertaining, fun, kind of distracting content from the chaos of then and now of the world, to just help lift your spirits and to help boost, give you that good brain juice and that good serotonin. So that's where the Christian meme review comes through, and I'll talk about that one in a minute. But this video was one that was very sentimental to me, and it still is. When I first started, I wanted to do these sit-downs to where I just talk and share some motivation with you, again, with that goal of just trying to lift your spirits and all that too. And I remember, and it's ironic too now, that we're in Holy Week. We're coming up to Monday, Thursday tomorrow, and this video was about the grief I experienced, not only when the pandemic started, but not having our normal Holy Week experience with the Living Last Supper, the prayer vigil, the Good Friday service, the Easter breakfast, Easter service, all that kind of stuff. I remember how just downhearted I was, and look at that mop. Almost looks as bad as the one I have now.
Happy Friday, everyone.
And I always had to wait because it did not take, and no one told me, and I blame you guys for this, no one told me that my videos lagged like this, because this isn't the only one. There's a majority of them.
And I want to make a disclaimer right off the bat that this will be, I guess, a very vulnerable story. I had no fever, I wasn't coughing. I think I might have been. So, and now adding this, that, I was going to see my counselor every...
So I won't go into that, but that's a very meaningful video, mainly because it's just hard to watch with the way it was. But it's a very meaningful video, and it was the first time I really kind of opened up to you guys and really felt this realness, this connection that I really enjoyed. So, but this video, which is funny because this video is almost a year old. It was April 18th. I actually got a what today's culture would consider a hate comment like within the last month. And it's like, really?
Be, slanderous. This is not meant to be taken seriously.
Yeah,
Fun.
because it was a case of two. The commenter thought, and the comment's still there, but the commenter thought like, "Oh, you're making fun of the Bible. How dare you?" And I completely state from the start, not even a minute in.
Big different. Um, but I wanted to do something a little more lighter. Meme review, or I should say, meme review. Um, I thought of this idea a little bit, a little while ago, and for some reason my brain has not let me let it go, and I just thought it was so fun to do, and I think it will be fun to do. Um, so I have everything ready. Hope you're ready.
And the weirder thing about this too, because I went back through the video to see like what are you talking about? What slander did I do? And I went back through the video and I looked at all these memes that I shared. There is maybe two or three memes out of the 20 that I believe I got at the time that were about the Bible. 90% of them were about youth group. I mean, youth pastor, a Christian pickup line, youth group, youth group, youth group, youth group, youth group, youth group. I mean, youth group, youth group. I mean, 90% of it was youth group. What do you have to complain about? Ah. So, but it was my first attempt at being like, okay, let's try some humorous stuff and see what happens. And it had a decent response, but it was one of those cases where it definitely felt forced. I wasn't happy with it. So, but we got through the Salt and Light. I did another sit down. These art streams I did was definitely a novelty kind of focus for me, because again, I'm trying to come up with these creative outlets to be like, what can we offer that's fun, different, and engaging all at the same time. And I just had this thought about doing these fun art streams, to where we just sit and color and I talk about life and, all that kind of stuff. Almost kind of like what I do here. And they were fun and all, don't get me wrong, but I'm not an artist for one, and B, I don't have a good setup for it. I didn't at the time. I could probably do it now with pretty decent setup, but I'm still not an artist. I'm not. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm not. I don't regret him, but it's one of those cases. And then that's where this came in. My first ever Let's Play. And it's weird that I'm looking back at it now. Because normally when YouTubers or content creators look back at their first whatever, it's like years down the road. This is 5 or 10 months ago. Well, 11 months ago. This is 11 months ago that this video came out. And I can tell you one thing. The difference between then and now is almost a couple years worth that you would expect. It is a terrible Let's Play.
Welcome, everyone, to our brand new Minecraft series.
I didn't even have normal headphones. I had to use these fake AirPods to connect to the audio.
Too long talking about it. Most people should know what Minecraft is by now. So we are going to jump into it quick and get started. So I will disclaim this. This world right here, the kids made me do it, is from another video I tried to record, but my footage got messed up. So I am going to...
And of course I had to record in 360 potato because my computer did not want to render a high quality.
New free world, survival, normal, because I'm not an idiot, and I'm going to rename it The Kids Made Me Do It Again. jump into it. Yeah, let's see what happens. I got a decent spawn the last time. It spawned me into a nice acacia forest, which I don't think I've seen before the last video. So as long as it's better than my normal world or the world I use on, and that was super beneficial. But to a farmer to get village again. Too, I'm afraid he's actually gonna kill me. It's a small village, I think. Oh no, there's way more over here. He's coming after me, isn't he? There you go.
Oh, I remember having such bad experiences with golems. I'll tell you one thing. The main thing I've struggled with Let's Plays, and I don't feel like I do as much anymore, is trying to stay entertaining. Because, I mean, obviously when I play, I don't talk a lot, too. And so it's been weird trying to take, my thoughts of the gameplay and vocalize them as I go. And obviously, I'm not doing that from the start. And this isn't entertaining. Whoops. And this isn't entertaining by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, that was only slightly annoying. Don't mind me. Yep. Oh.
Is the game audio not even recording?
Take the taters. Take the feather. Are you serious? Are you serious? Is he mad because I'm stealing?
Yeah, I didn't know how Minecraft works.
How?
Still really don't.
How did he hit me? Am I seriously in trouble right now? No.
But
I don't want sticks. I want sticks. I don't want. Yes. Yes, I know. There's not a lot going on right now, and I'm not saying anything because I'm concentrating on not dying. All this is probably going to get cut out. So I just... Oh, it's nighttime. The other villager can sleep downstairs. I'm going to sleep and try not to die.
My air conditioner is running in the background, and I remember how much of a nuisance that was. Because I'm so, I was so close to it.
He's still outside. Are you kidding me?
And now, I'm super far away.
Okay, this golem does not like. Oh, and I'm contagious, but.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I just remember how bad it was, and I'm not saying I'm a professional now. I'm far from it, but it's definitely gotten better. My Let's Play capabilities have gotten better, but yeah, it still wasn't the best. And I'm so thankful for streaming. So in this video, 10 DIY crafts for Mother's Day, I tried to come up with like the most unique, different, creative content possible, and I didn't even use
Welcome
audio.
everyone to our Friday Fun video. I know this is different. It's different for me. It's different for you. It's different and it's good and we're going to have fun. So let's dive into it. As you can see from the title thumbnail, this video is all about 10 DIY crafts for Mother's Day. Mother's Day is coming up in 2 days now, and we might not be able to go out and get our moms the gift that she deserves. So I have done the research. I have come up with 10 crafts, DIY crafts for Mother's Day that you can do at home with resources you have around you. I promise they're simple because if you know me, I'm not a crafty person by any stretch
Still
of the
ain't,
imagination.
still aren't.
So these are simple even for me. So let's get started.
I will say this: some of these were
transition to
simple
our
for
first
me.
one.
Still, some of these were not.
So I have a rock I just found out in my backyard. I'm going to paint it as a portrait of my mother. So all you need is a rock, some paint supplies. I have all kinds of paint here, paintbrush, some water, clean surface, and some patience. And the next craft,
And look
the
at
Origami Heart
this.
bookmark. Now what I'm going to take you through is the
I mean,
instructions.
this
I tried
edit
doing it
is.
myself and I've had it.
I remember
So I was
too
able to do it.
the amount of issues I had with that video. I think the initial cut, because obviously I don't want to show like all the actual like making of the crafts and all that, because that's boring, you know, unless I had something interesting or funny to say. So, but I remember that was almost 2 hours, I think, to turn into, what was it, like a 22-minute video. I remember that took me 2 days. I think that took me 2 days to edit, and it was fun. Don't get me wrong, but so. And then this video was one of my more exciting moments because it took me so long to get a children's Sunday school series going. Because I was thinking about it earlier, and I was just doing youth content. I mean, I tried to make it all age-oriented, but I was just doing youth content. And that comes from me being a youth pastor or youth leader for 8 years up to this point. And that's what I specialize in. You know, I hadn't really been a true effective children's leader ever. I mean, I've taught children before, but that's about it. So I had to sit and think, like, what can we do? And thankfully, Cokesbury provided the Deep Blue curriculum for free online, so we can just have it and use it. And I took it, Pastor okayed it, and just ran with it. And I am so happy I did. Is this running at 360 potato? Oops. It may just be my videos that are running at 360 potato.
Welcome, everyone. I'm excited for this. Welcome to Children's Time, our children's Sunday school.
Yes, you can still
series.
make fun of me for talking with my hands. It's something I haven't
finally
let
get
go.
around bringing this back. I hope you are too. For my church, we're returning to our Deep Blue series that Miss Amy and Miss Brianna have done so well throughout the entire school year. We're finally getting back to it. I'm excited. These lessons are dedicated to kindergarten through 4th graders, but everyone's welcome. I'm excited. My name is Mark, and welcome to Blue Returns. As you can see from the title, we're going to talk about Peter. But before we take a deep dive into today's story, let me introduce some of it to you first. And then the church, though, was together and they prayed for Jesus. Told the church, you parents watching should hopefully see there is a...
So this was an interesting part of the lessons as well, because, you know, a lot of children's lessons incorporate, you know, crafts, activities, physical activities, puzzles, things like that. It's like, how can you really commit to doing that online? It's like, it's hard. So this was a way for me to do that, and I used PowerPoint here to deliver the lesson, and then I used PowerPoint's drawing tool to actually do the puzzle. And I thought, oh, this is so innovative. Oh my gosh, how do I do this properly? And, you know, and I did it, and it was fun. And the funnier thing about all of this, as you can see me attempt to edit this properly, and we got the story and all that too, which was great. This part here.
So the deep days?
Incorporating these videos, I was like, it's one of those cases, because, you know, content creators have to battle with copyright issues consistently. And it's like, can I post these without copyright? Is it fair use, technically, if they're offering it for free? And I did, and thankfully Facebook really never came down on me for these. YouTube did a couple times, but that was more for the actual audio. They never tagged me for the videos. And I always, when we used this type of content, I always tried to mention in the description or in the post that, you know, provided by the Cokesbury Curriculum Company or whatever. And yeah, and these videos are weird to me. I didn't think they were done all that well, but that's me. And yeah, and then it's just all that too, and it was just fun. I'm so glad I did that, and I don't regret that by any stretch of the imagination. And then we just started getting into things. I mean, by this point, when the first Deep Blue curriculum came out, I really had this this mentality of like, I know what I'm doing. And quite frankly, I didn't. But I was able to develop this steady routine for a long time, probably one of the longest times I've had a consistent schedule. And it was, you know, Wednesdays were core nights, Fridays were some fun nights, Saturdays was the Deep Blue nights, and Sundays was Sunday school. And I did that for ever, it seemed. And like I said, we cycled through a bunch of it and got through some stuff, and then this video came out, the Bob Ross recreation. This video was a train wreck. As the description starts off, I tried, remember that, and it was fun, don't get me wrong, like it was fun to try and do, and I think I did try to record a second one, and did not work out to my
Happy Friday
best
and
ability.
Good evening all. Welcome to our fun Friday, the Bob Ross Redux. We are making another attempt at recording this. I've learned from all my past mistakes on how to do this, and I'm even doing a different painting tutorial. Wow, couldn't even think of that. I'm doing the ocean sunset painting. Last time I tried to record this, I did the Southwest Serenity, which you will see on the screen right here. That's my recreation of it. As terrible as it is, I know. So again, today we're going to do the...
Yeah, I didn't want to show it because of how terrible it actually was.
Again, I'm going to use Microsoft Paint to do it, so it's obviously not going to be all that good, but why not? We'll try it, we'll have some fun, we get to listen to Bob Ross, which is always a joy in its own, and see what happens.
This video is probably one of the earliest videos I put a lot of effort and intention into, only because I didn't know actually how difficult it was. So, like, you know, Bob Ross is listing all these colors, and I went through, and I'll see if I can go back to it.
You can see this little line here. Now,
so I went through in this whole I'm pointing like you can see it. That whole bottom row of colors in MS Paint, I had to look up the colors that Bob Ross was mentioning, find the hex code for those colors, and punch them into Microsoft Paint to deliver. No, and actually it wasn't the hex code, it was the RGB color codes, so I can get the most accurate color possible. 100% truth. And it still didn't turn out. There's the finished product, and as you can tell, they look very similar, don't they? Oh, I remember how frustrating. Oh my gosh, I actually had to find hex codes to update it because there's colors he brought in later that I didn't recognize.
Stay tuned tomorrow. Getting like the finer details done.
Like I said, whoever allows me to do art needs to not, because that is just a nightmare to take care of. It really is. Like I said, I can do graphical design. Like, I designed all of our thumbnails for these videos. So I mean, yeah, don't let me do that. And we did some other stuff, like I said. I mean, the reason I'm not going through all of these is because they're all pretty much the same stuff. Core lesson, Friday fun video, which doesn't really change between gameplay and fun and other stuff. Deep Blue and Sunday School. They don't really change all that much, so I don't worry about it all that much. The big thing that happened was here, the update video for July 2020. And little did I know how much change was actually taking place this day.
Happy Monday, welcome back. As you can tell, this isn't my normal background. My bed's not in the corner, you don't see my clock, my lights, prettiness. So, first question should be, where am I? I am back in the church. I'm recording right now in our youth media room. That way I'm away from people and they can't bother me, I can't bother them, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we're back. Thank you. First off, I want to say thank you for all the prayers that I've gotten over the reopening process and my vacation. I did have a wonderful vacation.
So, to preface some of this too, and the reason I'm taking my head off is because I feel like I'm going to talk for a while. So leading up to this, the numbers were very down. I mean, I think Michigan was even in the hundreds. They were very down, and we were discussing, okay, is it time for us to go back in person? And I remember being, because there's no right answer to it. I mean, you say yes, and people will think you're crazy for doing so, and you just are killing people by choice and because you want to, yada, yada, yada. And if you don't, you're fearing it too much, and it's a fake virus and all that kind of crap. So, in hearing that consistently, it's all a case of like, oh my God, who do I listen to? And I remember feeling very frustrated just by the process, and mainly because, I've never been a part of it. I've never done anything like this before. None of us have. But I remember just feeling so stressed out because of it. And as I said, I took a vacation, and the beginning part of that vacation was we had an ad board meeting. It was my first day back in the office since the pandemic started. And weirdly enough, and I say weirdly for a decent reason, it was 100 days exactly since I had left, since the last day I showed up, which is just a weird number. It's a weird number to me to think about that. Why was it exactly 100 days? I don't know. But it was, and I was back. So this is the first Monday back officially from vacation. It was been enough time just for me to get settled in, and it's like, I got to record this update video like first thing. Otherwise, I'm not going to get it. And yeah, so.
Good news front. So this video is going to be a bunch of changes. I'm going to have them on the screen to my left, your right. Bad at camera directions.
I'm still really bad at camera directions.
If I just spot them off, it'll be written for you. First things first, we did get the okay to reopen. Our church will be reopening its sanctuary for worship this upcoming Sunday, actually, July 12th, which is insane already to think about. And yeah, so thank you for all the prayers. Your prayers were answered. Your prayers were thank you. First and foremost. Next change, I'm trying to go in order because I have so much going on in my mind right now. I do need a little bit longer of a break from videos, so there will be no other videos this week. Because
Yeah, I remember having to take this break because I was just swamped. I'm back at the office now, so I'm like, I got to get organized again. I mean, not being in the church for 3 months, 4 months almost, and it kind of being stuck in this gap. It's like, yeah, I know I can't make videos. There's no way I can. Not being able to do so and keeping my sanity.
again, I'm back in the office. I'm back in the church. I need to get my recording stuff set up properly. I need to get my office cleaned. There's some other nitpicky stuff I have going on just to get organized by the time I come back. So I'll be working on a variety of other things this week. So videos will pick back up on the 13th. So just bear with me. Actually, no, they'll be picking up on the 11th, but I'll get there. So we will still have our core Zoom call this Wednesday about it, I think, a little bit in the last Sunday school video. I need to go back to 3 videos a week because I am back. I'm working on other things right now, and just 4 videos a week, being the one-man crew that I am, just is not feasible for me. It just doesn't work. So I'm going to take away the Sunday school videos. Don't worry though, the Philippians videos will continue after we finish Jesus in Real Life, which will be the finale next Wednesday, the 15th. So again, I know I'm jumping ahead of myself and trying to explain all this, but bear with me. This is going to be a bear to edit anyways. So yes, no.
I don't remember it being that bad, but yeah.
Videos on Sunday are just gone. Mondays we are changing. Actually, we never had any videos on Mondays other than some updates. Mondays will be our children's time videos. I'm moving them from Saturdays to Mondays because the new video schedule will be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I like it. I like the consistency of that. We will still have Zoom calls, but I just still love the consistency of that. So children's time is getting the bigger change. They're going from Wednesday or Saturdays to Mondays. Mondays at 6. There still will be the informational post that goes out every Monday morning at like 9 or 10, depending on when I can get it prepped. So yes, those will be going out. You will have one. Actually, I'll get it ready this week. I forgot about that, but there will be one ready to go on the 13th. Actually, no, I think the 14th is it. So yes, get ready for that. That'll be here as we go. See, so there's Mondays. There's children's time. Wednesdays we are going to continue the core lessons. We're going to finish up Jesus in Real Life, and then after that we're picking back up with Philippians, and we'll finish that off and kind of go from there. I do know, and my kids talked about this, and I mentioned this a little bit. I had hoped, and I had prayed and talked about potentially reopening our in-person gatherings on the 15th. I am going to delay that just because like I mentioned, I'm back in, I'm working on other stuff. I have some catch-up work I need to do, and B, by the time I get protocols finalized, sent out to parents, get okays from all of my higher ups, doing all that by the 15th is just stressful thinking about it. So I'm going to delay it. My next tentative date, and it could be earlier, it could be later, is going to be August 2nd. No, I'm sorry, not August 2nd. August 2nd is the first Sunday that week. So it should be the 5th. Yes, August 5th. So the first Wednesday in August. I know it bums me out to say it. I know it probably bums you, and you're probably angry at me and getting ready for pitchforks to come near me. Again, this decision was not made with just a quick, thinking. This took a lot of in-depth thought and analysis to decide what's the best for me, what's the best for the church, what's the best for the youth. So core meetings, in-person meetings, will pick back up August 2nd. It'll give me time to create.
Little did I know that won't be true.
Good meeting experiences. We are going to. I'll probably do a video on the new protocols that we're going to have, which aren't that much different than what the church is offering. But just to give everybody the transparency of this, there will be letters sent out to all parents and all grandparents and any guardians of our youth and children, explaining everything too, and there'll be some informs, so all that I'm taking care of. With Wednesday, so we are still doing the core Zoom calls at 5, at least for the rest of this month, and then our lesson videos will come out at 6. So there's that. So Wednesdays will be core Zoom at 5, because it's something I've wanted to talk about for a bit now. And then we are going to kind of get back. I'm going to do a meme review, and then we're going to end July, the last Friday in July, with live streams. And instead of doing gaming videos, I'm going to do gaming live streams. It's, again, a lot less work for me.
Definitely is a lot less work. The one thing I have to learn is when it comes to live streams, when you're transferring them, to do it in a timely manner, because Facebook has this weird requirement that you can't upload videos longer than 4 hours, but it lets you stream for longer than 4 hours. That makes sense to me, but that's what kind of delayed my uploads and all that. So, and it was weird to me. I sat down and was watching this earlier before, and I remember how I felt here, and I looked back at the Holy Week grief video, the second Friday sit down, and I looked at those two people, and it just felt like they were two different people. It just felt like they were two different people staring into the camera, because I had learned, grown, matured. Well, matured. I don't know if you can truly say that about me ever, but I had grown a lot and learned a lot about how to manage this ministry and all that kind of stuff. To the point where, like, I thought I finally understood what I was doing. And as I said, I really don't. I still don't know what I'm doing. But that week, and hold on a quick second. So, give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. But I remember the complexities that were coming with that week that I did not know was in front of me. It included a funeral that I was asked, or really volunteered to work, because I was our kind of head AV person at the time, and I'm thinking, I haven't been around a group of people in 4 months. What makes you think I'm ready to do it now? And I said, okay. So, and in the midst of balancing all that with, coming back and still trying to get settled and organized and yada, 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 and, excuses, I was just freaking out. And this funeral wasn't, apologies, but this funeral wasn't just some Joe Schmo. I mean, this was kind of a notable member in the community, so there was a lot of people. And the visitation was at the church, and there was a lot of people for the visitation. And the funeral was a lot of people. And I'm sitting here just silently panicking, almost like, okay, there's a lot of people here, but, it ended up working out. But still, it's just a case of like, oh my gosh. But, then we get to the 10th, which is my birthday, and I find out on the 13th, actually, that our youth room flooded, our basement flooded. And I found out it was Friday, because I found out it was on my birthday because I knew we had a storm that day, and it completely soaked our rec room and part of our media room. And thankfully nothing got damaged except for the flooring, really, and the walls. The walls leaked too and caused very bad, not very bad, but bad damage. And it's like, okay, sure, what's one more thing going on? And with that, and then also trying to prepare for our first Sunday back, because I was running the booth that day, I was like, oh my gosh. But, and I think I talk about it, I gotta see where I do these videos, because, so I did that one from home. The first video I did at the church, it was this one, the burnout video. And I recorded this in my classroom. And I hated recording in my classroom because it echoed so much. And I remember, because I wanted to set up, we did an art project like just before the pandemic started. And I remember I wanted to just design all that kind of stuff. And I remember too, because my room doesn't get air conditioning, it was hot. It was just hot. And I just remember it's like, oh gosh, I'm not going to survive this. I'm sweating to death. And you could probably see it, to be honest with you. And yeah, I just kind of went through and talked about... Why did I split the screen there? I just kind of went through and talked about like some of the feelings I had the past few weeks because, like I said, I mean, this was after we found out that the basement flooded and was trying to balance all that. Plus, little did I know, by the end of that week, my office was going to get... I was moving offices, which is something I had talked about doing long before the pandemic even started. And I didn't know that there was going to be such kind of a higher priority to deal with. And why did I split the video? Why is nothing shown up? Oh, I was sharing scripture. I don't know what I was doing. But yeah, I remember that, and it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, I just remember the stress that was behind that time, and it kind of really started I don't want to call it a harmful downtick, but it really kind of started this weird progression of stuff. And I remember this one. I remember this one because I actually had a more professional setup. This was with my new computer. And for some reason, I decided to go with the mustache and, flavor saver look. Why? Who knows? But, and I looked at the Christian meme subreddit, which, yes, exists and still does. And I'm just, this whole part right here, from, I'll say the 20th to 8/18, I was stressed because not only were we thinking about, not only were we, returning in person, and we couldn't have oh, hey, Hope, welcome. I'm reflecting on memories. And so from like that point, I was just in a high ball of stress because I said I'm moving offices. Our basement flooded. Busy first week, busy second week even. And then we started diving into creating our virtual VBS, the Focus VBS. And little did I know how stressful that project was going to be on me, and how much that was going to take out of me. And it was a case of pretty much just like, that project was 3 weeks worth of just writing, because it was deciding how are we going to schedule the content. And we decided to go one video a day for 5 days for 3 weeks, and it was almost going to be 5 weeks. But that means 15 scripts I have to write and rewrite to fit like a proper formatting style. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, hope you were in some of those. Those are the best ones. And I remember, so that's why there's also like this huge gap in between everything. And there's a reason for that, but I want to go watch, I want to go watch the update video. No, not that one. Focus. There it is. The promo video, I should say. And again, please hear me when I say I don't regret any content I have ever made. I really don't. There's just some parts that I wish I would have done better and thought out more. And this project was one of them. This project was most definitely one. So, and I thought I'd add like their 1 minute opener just to...
Welcome to Fall Bible Focus. What is that?
In this image, can I be honest? I'm going to be real with you guys. I hate how I look. Especially here. I look Amish. to me. And that's not I'm not trying to, throw any kind of slight or slander to the Amish people. I just look Amish. I am a neckbeard wearing fedora type person, and I just look awful. But that was because I was feeling awful at that time. And recording in the sanctuary to start with, I had to really learn, because I was recording by myself at this point, and I had to really learn how to manage all that, because our church has professional equipment to record and to live stream now, because we're back in person by this point. And when I'm by myself, I have to kind of watch the recording software, but I can't do it from the back of the sound booth to the front of the stage. So I had to put it on our projection screen, and as you can tell,
It is our 2020
I'm staring at
virtual
that
vacation
more than I am
festival.
staring at you guys, and that drives me nuts when I
September
do it
20th,
now.
We will be offering you 5 videos a week, no more than 20, 30 minutes a
And
video, for 5 weeks.
it's just a
that are
case, and
all
yeah, this
dedicated to how we can bring
was
you will be up. You have
a
to
lot.
go register right now. Registration will be open until August 21st.
And I had to really pray I
see
didn't
what-
mess up any dates or mess up any.
Not a whole lot. I will at Bethany, or whether you're a part of the Bethany family, or whether you're not. Let me know if you want to get involved.
Any kind of stuff
There's
like
A
that.
lot of different areas
And
you can help.
volunteers too. I mean, it was weird trying to recruit volunteers for this type of project. And I'll admit, did I do it right? No, I really didn't. I should have done my volunteering push a lot better than I did. And I'm not saying I'm not thankful for the volunteers that I had. Hope was wonderful. Elizabeth was wonderful. Jake was wonderful. I mean, it was thankful I had some help. But this was a full, almost 2-month long project that it took that just added so much stress to me. And by the time I got all the videos written and all that, I recorded all 15 videos in 2 days, in 2 recording sessions. And not only did I record that, I recorded this update video, this first children's Sunday school video, our back to school prayer, youth Sunday school, core, and Friday Fun video. I recorded 20 videos in the span of 3 days, 4 days, and oh my gosh, I have never done that again. And I wouldn't want to do that again. And especially when you're trying to solo manage all that, I was losing my mind worse than I normally do. And it was just a case of like, how the heck am I going to manage all this? Like, how? I don't know how. Mark really said workaholic hours. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. In this video... Did I seriously put this was recorded August 28th? I did.
Actually,
So in this video, I was happy with.
You can see the focus banner. Here will offer.
Because I was thinking, okay, cool. I kind of know how to do this for the fall. I felt good about the planning. You can actually kind of see Live Studio, which is what I used to record, sitting or on the background, so I can actually see the system. Because I'm that paranoid that I can't just record it and move on. And again, this is how you can tell I was recording VBS at the time.
This time we're taking a pause on that so the children can focus on fall Bible focus, but the youth videos will
well,
continue.
you can't see it because I'm in the way, but the banner was back here.
I know
and,
fall Bible focus might not be targeted.
And then I didn't even set this up right. The light reflections here were terrible.
Start until the first Wednesday in October, which I believe is October 7th.
And again, this is probably the 3rd promise, I think, at this point, that core in-person gatherings will return. And it's like, it seemed like, and it still does, it seems like every time I'm ready, I feel confident that the world is going to cooperate, and we'll be able to gather safely. Cases start going crazy, the world goes back to being nuts, and, I gotta put it off again. And, thankfully, hopefully, it's not going to be the case this time, but I'm like, Why are you doing this to me, world? What have I done to you to deserve this?
If I'm wrong, it's we're right now Wednesday, and see what we can push as well. We're at right now, taking some look different, but for mentally, I think for me, and I say that not I want to say that too because not in a feel pity for me sense, but in a transparent sense, because I know this time of the year, especially this year, is rough around parents because of everybody going back to school and all the youth and they're going back to school. But for me especially, this is gonna be a rough start to the fall. With not having core kick back up and not having Wednesday Night Live tentatively not start at the same time, not having skating here, it's gonna be rough. I know it. So if you can, I just ask for a little bit of prayer for me, just to manage. And I don't even know if this will stay into the video that you'll see. So we'll see where we're at. So
I didn't even remember keeping that in. I remember recording that, but I was in a mental place, I believe, at the time where I was like, I can't make this about me. I can't really focus on what I'm feeling here because there's so much extra going on with, getting Fall Bible Focus finalized. We're kicking off Sunday school. Both Sunday school classes. We're kicking off, these new core lessons. We're kicking all this off, and it's like, okay, I got to keep focused on that. Worrying about Friday content and social media management and how to do, our Zoom calls at the same time. It's like, okay, just got to keep focusing, keep trucking ahead, put my head down and go. And I remember saying that line. It's like, no, the video's not about you. The video's about the ministry. Who cares about you by doing that? And so I thought I actually cut that out. And I think I remember at the time when I edited this was a case of like, nah, we'll keep it in. It doesn't hurt to ask for prayers. But I remember feeling so like, ugh, about doing that because I always hate, for me, like using the platform for me, for my own benefit instead of just focusing on the ministry side of things. And I don't know. I'm a complex individual. What can I say? So in this series, the OP Adulting one, this was an interesting series to me. Mainly because this was the first time I ever wrote and taught a series from scratch. This series was one I completely wrote myself.
this is the first time you've seen me. If you've only stayed with us for Sunday school, this is the first time you've seen me in about 3 months. Welcome back to Sunday school. I am so excited to get this series back up and running. This is something I've been really excited about since our youth. Thank you, Hope. Kind of pushed me to continue this.
Hey,
it's something
Hope.
I've thought about, and she was able to help me
Oh yeah,
fine-tune what to do.
I forgot you
So,
really were
welcome
such
to
an
week one
influential
of OP Adulting. What does that
part
mean?
of this.
Over the next 9 weeks, we're going to be talking about topics that you need to know.
I already lied.
When you become an adult.
This was only a 7-week series.
Finances, relationship, anxiety, stress management.
Hey,
and most
shout out.
many
Yeah,
others.
heck yeah. It
This
was really
series
true.
will get
You
prepared and
were
set a
really,
biblical foundation. for
really
you when you
prominent
become an
part
adult.
in this design for
I'm
me.
very excited to dive into this, not only because of the topic, because this is something I've been wanting to continue. Just to give some background, before we shut down in March, I was leading our middle schoolers and high schoolers through the How to Adult YouTube channel and teaching them, guiding them through different.
I don't know if I ever actually taught something like that y'all were able to retain from this How to Adult class. If I could go back, I would so change it up again. But I don't even know if that was even a good class to teach because it's like I could never tell if y'all liked it or not.
They learn their both Old Testament and New Testament. Now I'm going to rant. We can. So the book of Ecclesiastes, about halfway through your Old Testament, after Job and Psalms and Proverbs and all that. Turn to Ecclesiastes 5, chapter 10, and join me when it says, and I'm reading from the Common English
5
Bible.
chapter
if it makes
10.
a difference. It says, the money lover isn't satisfied with money, neither is the lover of wealth satisfied with income. This too is pointless. Now, my study Bible is an English Standard Version, and I love what it said at the last part of 5:10. This is also vanity. That is a powerful word right there, because it's connecting money and wealth to vanity. What is vanity? Let's break that down. It's defined as the excessive pride in or admiration of.
Oh, don't worry about remembering things, Hope. And I thought it from an overall level, because it did, to me, it did feel like kind of the lazy way out of like, yeah, just show a video, who cares? But I mean, I thought that conceptually, I thought like, yeah, this would be kind of a fun class to go through, and I'm not saying I regret it. I would like to have just been able to do more hands-on type things, but trying to get volunteers to help teach that class was hard. Was hard. But I remember this lesson because, and this is
having X would be nice. When you want, or yeah, others might live. I plead with you that realize that you are made in God's image. You are made that God, so that God had a plan for you that you might not even understand. You might not understand why you were born into the household you did, but you were there to break generational curses. You might not understand why you got hooked up with this friend, but you were there to guide this friend, to be there for this friend. You were there to learn empathy. You may not understand why this last relationship didn't work. It was God showing you that you might not be all right, honey. There's other things for you to work on. I told you, I'm coming after you today. Overall, listen to him, lean on him, trust him, and above everything else, I plead, have faith in him. Verse 10 talks about the love of money, and it calls it the root of all things evil. Did you know that money is not actually evil, but it's good? And I can give you scripture all the way back in Deuteronomy 10. Deuteronomy 8. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, he is the one who gives you the strength to be prosperous in order to establish the covenant he has made with your ancestors. God has given us money to help us with.
I love this series because it was the first time I really got to take my nerdiness, my nerd out moments of studying the Bible to share with you guys. And the amount of in-depthness I used for this series was so fun for me, because I remember reading through this and being like, yeah, cool. And you could tell by the amount of energy I had too, which was really the first time I kind of showed this true energetic side of me. To kind of, my goal is to like, by doing that was to create like both engagement and entertainment all at the same time. And there's part of me that really misses this old version of just sitting down and talking and doing lessons like this. And oh my gosh, what is this?
You're excited for the series to continue to flourish. Telling us about it. And above everything else, we will see you in the next one. Stay blessed.
There's part of me that really just misses that old style. And that's the one thing, like, going back and forth between, like, you know, working at the office, working from home, you know, early pandemic, today's time. Like, that's the one thing I've really kind of missed was the simplicity of it. And yes, for me personally, and I speak out of my own experience, like, the early part of the pandemic, like the, you know, April through June, it was really such a simple time for me, at least, and how to do this new thing of online ministry. And it got, like I mentioned earlier, it got developed into this routine. Like, okay, you do your youth lesson, have some fun stuff, do a children's lesson, and do Sunday school, and you're done. And I miss, and I've said it later on too, like, I miss the simplicity of that. I miss just sitting in front of the camera, talking the Bible to you guys, and trying to make you learn something. And and I get it too, and I've slowly kind of understood, like, yeah, school is rough, and who wants to learn something right now? But it took me a long while to have that set in. So, but I remember the stress that came with this too, because I mentioned I wrote the OP Adulting series. I also kind of wrote the Kicking Anxiety Out series too, because I was taking the book I was using and pretty much transposing it and adapting it to our context. And writing that was pretty much writing my own series again. So I was writing 2 series at one time. I have one lesson I remember, and I can't remember which one it was. This one. No, this one. That one took forever to write. It took me 4 days to write because I remember I had editing issues. I had no time during the week because I was busy editing videos for Fall Bible Focus. I was editing videos for the core lessons and all that. I was, finalizing edits. I was doing schedules. I was finalizing recordings and all that. I remember, I don't have time to write this. I don't. And it got out of hand. It really did, and I'll talk about that in a minute. This video, the church tour video, the time between the initial pandemic and realize that this is how we were going to live for a hot sec was the best time for my life. Yes, and thank you for actually saying that because I've always felt like I'm the only one. Yes, the early part of the pandemic when we were like, okay, we're settling in for the long haul, is like, okay, we just have to just do it. I just remember because I, as Hope pointed out, I'm a workaholic. But those days, I worked anywhere from 2 to 3 hours a day at most. And to only work that long, that early, it's like, I want that again. And like the last couple of weeks, I've had 10-hour days because of, the over-complicatedness of my life. But it's like, I miss that early simplicity of it. And at the beginning of this year, and I'll talk about it as we get closer to reminiscing at the start of 2021. Like January, I wanted to have that commitment of finding the simplicity in it again, to be able to dig deep. It's like, what is really needed for our ministry? What is really necessary for us to do? And really just hone in on that, kind of focus on a quality, not quantity time of it. And, things got, and I'll kind of explain it as we go, but this video blew up. Like, I was watching some of the responses to it, or kind of watching the analytics of this one, and this blew up compared to all the other videos that were launching around this time.
What's up, guys? I know this is going to be a little different. Apologize for however the camera works, but for the Friday Fun video today, I wanted to give...
The most fun part about this video was actually just trying to find a time when nobody was in the building. Because I felt awkward thinking, like, I gotta record when other people are around? That's weird. I didn't realize how self-conscious I was still about recording. And this is September. So this is like 5 months into the pandemic now. 6 months into the pandemic. And it's like, you would have thought I got comfortable with recordings. But, I had to. So that's why the lights are actually off. Because I'm pretty confident it's just me in the building.
Some of my youth that might be watching this, you haven't seen this place in forever. So I wanted to make sure you haven't forgot how it looks.
And that was the main reason
for
behind
others
it.
that might watch, you get to see it. So where I'm at right now, I'm actually walking down our hallway. As you can tell, back gauge door. My office right here. For those of you that don't know yet, I moved offices. But
That was my official
wanted to
announcement
kinda
that,
do
hey, I
this
moved
and give you
offices.
guys a tour of where everything is. This area right here is our classroom wing. All of our Sunday school classrooms are there. There's pastor's office, more classrooms, bathrooms. all that kind of stuff. Down here is the basement. This is our youth area.
Remember, I recorded this on my tablet, so apologies ahead of time for the shakiness.
This over here is what we kind of call the office wing. This is where Barb's office, our secretary's offices, other offices, lounge, all that. So that's kind of where everything is. Let me open the basement. I'll give you a tour of the youth.
The one time I actually have my keys on me.
Now, before we go any further, I want to preface that we've had some flooding in the basement, and our youth area isn't put together, but still. So here it is.
2 months. This was almost 2 full months after the initial flooding occurred.
Because of the flooding, but and it just reeks down here. So, but here's a rec room. All of our stuff: air hockey, foosball, pool table. There's ping pong table in here. Dartboard that's usually hanging up. Where's the dartboard? Oh, I think I took it down for a Nerf night. But this is our rec room. This is the area that flooded the most. You can see the walls a little bit. You can see the walls a little bit down there. All the way down has been chipped.
Oh, Hope, I should have taken you down there because they repainted it.
So there's the rec room.
They painted the whiteness of it too, and the wall looks so different.
As I walk in. This is our media room, music room, or not media room, movie room.
My old recording setup. The table and chair over there.
I bought shortly before we closed. Go figure. Yeah, all that. Couches, video games. Our gaming center right here has the PS4, the Switch, DVD player, all that hooked up. And then we go from here to the computer room. As big as this room is. So the Wii's connected to that TV. There's the book nook over there. Board games are on this side. I am so bad at this. Board games are on that shelf right there. I'm not going to go back there. That's the supply room. You guys don't need to see that. So, and then actually over here is where all of our computers are. So the 4 computers that we have. So that's kind of the tour of the
I love how I passed over the stolen monitor.
It's one of those. Hold on. Help if you can see me. It's kind of cool that we get a full room to ourselves, or full basement pretty much to ourselves, because you don't see that often. You know, we might get a room, or we might get kind of a conjoined room, or stuff like that, but you don't get to see the actual. You don't get to see like a full church basement dedicated to the youth. That's pretty cool. So there's that. I'll take you down this hallway now. This is just another extended hallway. Goes to custodian's office, bathrooms. You guys don't need to see that. This is actually our fellowship hall. Big room as it is. I'm not blocking the way. Big room. Back there's the kitchen. This is where we hold roller skating too. That's what the skate rails right there are for. We have dinners, all that kind of stuff in here. You guys know what a fellowship hall is for. Let's see. I wasn't sure how long this video was going to take, so I'm kind of rushing, kind of not. In here is what we call the gathering room. This is where we would all gather before church or before any services. I should turn the light on. There we go. Before church, before any services that we have. It's different now because we've taken a lot of stuff out. Because when we were meeting, we didn't want anybody touching a whole lot of stuff, and all the extra stuff that we took out was ancillary. It's stuff that we didn't need per se. So, but there's the gathering room. The biggest piece that's missing right there. There's no coffee, but thank goodness I had my own pot. So now we move.
This was
to
my
the
first
narthex,
attempt at
just
probably
a
like
little hall
improv
behind the
comedy.
sanctuary, where the ushers greet us and the greeters greet us. So just quick little hallway. The podium is there for our offerings because we can't do normal offerings. And let's see. And then take you to the main part of the church. Oh, I should do it up here. Take you to the balcony so you can see the sanctuary. Probably the biggest room. Yeah, I'd say the biggest room. Fell hall's pretty big. I think this is bigger. And I'm in the church balcony right now. See all the pews. This might look familiar. This is where I've recorded all of our videos this week, except for children's time, but that's a whole different setup. And then boom.
The focus banner.
Our
The
fellowship hall.
sign that
Our
I did it
sanctuary.
all in one
There it is.
week.
New ramp. Those of you that don't know, we got a ramp now in here, put in over the break. And then here's my office, my second office, you could say. I'll just kind of pan it down. No, you can quit looking at me. All that is my sound booth, our sound booth, I should say. That's where I make all the magic for Sundays. This is where kind of like my recording center too for when I do the normal videos for the week. It's funny too because these videos are going to be all screwed up timeline wise, but I just got done recording all the Fall Bible Focus videos this past week. This is the 19th video I've recorded this week. Crazy. So, but I want to take you behind the stage too. There's a lot of.
It is so funny how I can say that so passively and not just reflect on the fact that I recorded 19 videos in a week. Can we talk about just how crazy that actually is? 19 videos within a week. Why? Why didn't anybody stop me? You let this happen. Because I feel like I feel like I'm talking so far away from the mic. But yeah, I think now it's like, yeah, Mark, go ahead and record 19 videos in a week. It's like, no. Like, no, why would I do that? That's just insanity. I have a hard time recording 4 videos in a week. I record 4 videos in a day, and that lasts a month. Like, no.
Rooms that don't have direct access to the general public right now because we're just trying to limit foot traffic and everything too, and especially now that we're not meeting in person. Like I said, the less people wandering around the building, the better.
Oh, that's how screwed up the timeline is. Because I recorded this before the first return meeting took place. Oh no, this is after because we stopped meeting August 2nd because of the rising case numbers. So yeah, this is after we returned the first time. Oh, okay.
Worry about sanitizing everything.
I remember that now.
So, but I'm not touching anything. The only thing I'm touching is light switches. So nobody will be down here anyways.
I'm such a rule breaker.
Down here, it's another office kind of hallway. Oop, this way. Down here is a couple doors. The first door is our food pantry. Second door is our choir director's office. This door right here is our counting room where we count the offerings on Sunday morning. Back when we can do that. This area
I actually
right
caught
here
flack
is
for
the
advertising the room where we count the money on Sundays.
supply area. Back here is our choir room where all things music go on back there. I want to make sure I'm turning lights off as I'm coming back through. So give me a minute. So that's pretty much it as far as the back hallway. I've kind of shown you the second half of the church now. I can go through here. So there's one main room I haven't shown, and that's fireplace room. It's dark. I don't have the lights on. Thankfully, Mother Nature is providing it. But this is kind of where we've been storing all the stuff for Sundays.
Still do.
Normally. Behind me is all the pews, all the hymns and Bibles and all that.
All the hymns, every single hymn is stored back there.
All the stuff that was in the gathering room is all right there. We have this hallway that actually goes down that's too scary to look at right now because this church is haunted. I believe it. And this hallway has a lot of instances where that's happened.
I have thought about.
So it's always eerie looking.
I have thought about talking about the church being haunted. I have thought about doing kind of a fun ghost hunting video where I'm at the church overnight one night to actually just see, and it would just be as simple as like, you know, a recording camera and mic and all that. It would just be enough for that. I wouldn't go as with the all out like EMF detectors and thermal imaging cams and all that kind of stuff. It would just be enough to do voice recording and video cam stuff. But I thought like it could actually be fun. And I thought about doing that for when we did the Spooktober streams, but I didn't, mainly because I'm a wuss.
And down, I always try to turn it on before I walk down there. Little garden out here, not a whole lot upkeep to it. It's not used a whole lot. Nursery in the back, nursery, all that, and then down here is another entrance to the choir room.
I think that's it.
Then that goes back out to the fellowship and our family for the only other thing I wanted to show you guys was I can cut the mic in the background, sorry. The only other thing I really wanted to show you guys is the classrooms, because I know that's an area that but I'll show you
I did show the classrooms.
So, but here's my classrooms, my youth room.
Oh, ignore the mess. Ignore the mess, everyone. Ignore it. Ignore it. I was using this room as a storage room for when I changed offices.
But I've been so devilishly busy, I haven't had a chance to. So, but there's that.
Ignore the mess. Ignore it.
Coming after me. So I can do this because I don't have to worry too much, but out there is a ball field. We have a baseball field in the back, which is freaking cool. I didn't show you over there. The face is put on all the cabinets. And
Which is done.
delayed right now, but we'll survive.
Which is...
Wednesday night live snacks that I had.
Why did I go back here?
Time of reflection.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why I did half of what I did. But like I said, this video just blew up. Like, compared to all the other videos. And it's hard to kind of read analytics when it comes to stuff like this. But you can kind of see that, 3-second view counts were down. 1 minute views were down. The impressions were down. I mean, all that kind of stuff was down. And then this video, 7.9 times any other posts within a 3-week period. Why y'all decided to blow that video up, I will never know. So we were doing all this, and then it's here. The first episode of Fall Bible Focus.
Are you ready to begin this journey? I said, are you ready to begin this journey? Awesome. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I wanted to record the videos without a paper script because I realized how many trees I would kill. And again, I hated how much I paid attention to both this and the screen behind me so I can focus on the recording. I hated so much of that worrying about the behind the scenes stuff.
Start to see how big practice. We know that all wisdom comes from you.
I look purple in this. Yeah, it's the lighting choice. It's the lighting reflection, more than likely mixed with the reflection of this. Yeah, it wasn't the best. I wish I would have had Elizabeth's design perspective from the start, because, yeah, it wasn't good. It just wasn't good. And I'm not saying, I'm not saying I regret any of this. I don't. I really don't. There was a lot of things I would do better. There is a lot. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my headphones. There's a lot I would do differently. Thanos mark. Nice. There was a lot I'd do differently. And I'm praying that this year we have an in-person VBS experience because I don't want to go through that nightmare again. But I learned enough to be like, okay, I know what to truly do. So, and then this video was something I thought about doing for a while, and since you guys are very flexible and letting me do what I want, I just read the Bible. and talked about the Bible on stream. Why you guys let me do that for so long, I don't know.
Alright, so like I said, we'll just give it a little bit more time, Usually anytime I try to run Spotify in the background, it found my lost sheep. In the same way,
So
the parable of the prodigal son,
I went there and talked about the parables of the Bible, or a lot of different parables of the Bible, for a long time. And again, my air conditioner running in the background, as you can hear.
let's read about the persistent widow.
And like I said, I'm a Bible nerd. I love studying the in-depthness of the Bible. So I was just so thankful to do it. But this is the only stream I've done it on this channel. And do I regret it? No. I mean, I loved it. And, and it didn't hit the same type of, views that I wanted it to, which is okay. It is. But I would love to do that again and just sit there and talk about the Bible one more time, because I don't know. I just love talking about it. This video, though, with everything that was going on with Fall Bible Focus and everything else, I just was out of it. So this video, and as I overshare, I wanted to talk about everything. Where have I been? What have I been doing? All that. And I want to sit and actually watch this, because I always love watching these reflectionary type videos just to see, like, where was I in the meantime? Because that's the true kind of metric for me, to say, like, this is where I was. So we're going to watch this one in full. Or not in full, but.
Where have I been? An interesting question. It's also a confusing question, because most of you would look at it and be like, you've been here or there, or
It's a different shirt that I'm wearing than this one, I promise.
which is kind of true, because we've had Fall Bible Focus come out the past few weeks, every night, Monday through Friday, without any hitches. And as you will see, I don't know when this is going out Monday, but as you will see, week 3 is starting out already. So, with the question of where have I been, a confusing one. Not including yesterday's videos, the last time I truly uploaded content was Wednesday, September 23rd. So between Wednesday, September 23rd, and yesterday, Sunday, October 4th, there was no videos that I uploaded. And when I say I uploaded, I mean ones that were not pre-done prior to that time slot. Because with Fall Bible Focus, all that's pre-done, all that is ready. I had Elizabeth, one of the members of our church and our, resident tech expert too. She was gracious enough to edit and upload and schedule some of the videos for that too. So all that is being done in the background. Me myself, the last video I uploaded was September 23rd, and that's also pre-done because I was on vacation that week. So I haven't scheduled any videos since probably Friday September 18th. So the question of where have I been is valid, because as you saw, there was no core video, the word video, whatever it's called, on the 30th. There was no Friday Fun stuff. There wasn't any Friday Fun stuff the 25th or October 2nd. There was no Sunday School on the 27th. So that is 4 straight days of missing content that I didn't communicate out. Why? And again, that leads to the question. To put it bluntly and broadly to start with, and then we'll dive into it some more. Life just got in the way. It happens, and it did. And when life got in the way, during that period, and I'm going to refer to that period a couple times. So when I refer to that period, I'm talking about Wednesday the 23rd through August.
I love the procrastination technique I go instead of just getting to the point.
So when it came to that period, life just kind of body checked me. I mean, it really just knocked me to the ground, took the breath away, and had me in a sleeper hold pretty much. And am I going to say I'm better now? Yes, I am in a better place. I'm not 100% better, but I am in a better place than I was during this period. So the answer to where have I been comes in two parts. I'm going to talk about why there was no Friday fun in Sunday school on the 25th and the 27th first, and then I'll explain why there was no the word and fun stuff on the 30th and the 2nd. So first, why was there no? Let's ask it this way: where was I with the Fun Friday and Sunday school on the 25th and 27th? So for those that don't know, I was going on vacation the week of the 21st, and I was in this mode to where I was actually a week ahead of videos, so I was prepped perfectly, and I was going to write it. And as I started writing the Sunday school lesson, which was on Greek, I just couldn't get any conducive thoughts together. Nothing was flowing. Nothing was making sense. I couldn't figure out a way to use the scriptures that I had picked out in a way that I could tell a story and teach all at the same time, and it just wasn't making any sense to me. So I was holding myself back from that. But with the Friday fun stuff, the reason there was no Sunday school, we'll lead into this, but the Friday fun stuff, I wanted kind of to be transparent up front. To be honest, the last few Friday fun videos, I've just not been having fun with them, ironically. They just haven't been fulfilling, I think is a better word for them. And in the midst of all this prep and everything, I didn't want to game anymore. I just wasn't feeling it, and trying to consistently come up with creative content that is both entertaining and engaging for you guys just was not the easiest thing to do. So I thought it would have been the perfect time for a sit down. I had thought about doing one anyways. I was going to do one actually at the beginning of September, but I didn't for whatever reason. I can't remember now. But I decided, okay, I'll do a sit down. I was going to talk about
video might be quiet, Elizabeth.
Not having Core and Wednesday Night Live start at the same time.
With my headphones on, I'm watching the audio, so the video might just be quiet. So, plus I've been quiet. I've just been kind of sitting and reflecting on this one.
For the Greek Sunday school lesson, and I'll merge it with the Friday sit down, and then we'll kind of just do a dual video for it. I thought, oh, okay, cool. And I actually did record it, and after I recorded it, though, I was just like, this doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. I don't know if it was more so the mood I was in, or if I was just being hypercritical of myself, or I don't know what it was, but I was like, this isn't going to go. So I scrapped it. So instead of trying to kind of run around and put something together, I was just like, you know what, I'm going on vacation, and I did go with, although Focus is coming up every week, or every day that week, I'm not going to worry too much about not having content. So I scrapped it, but again, I didn't communicate that to you guys, and I apologize for that. Now, where was I when there was no core video on Wednesday the 30th and no fun stuff video on the 2nd? This is where the part where just life got in the way comes into a fuller effect.
you that know me know I'm frustrated and but part of me doesn't want to overshare because some of the stuff just you don't need to know. It's my life, not our life. But part of me does want to take it or leave it to you guys. So
It's comforting to know I've been working on that for months now.
reopening again, actually for yesterday. So, but during
Oh, yeah.
the discussions, I was very anxious,
So this was before the second
frustrated,
reopening process.
depressed, a whole myriad of those emotions, and it skewed my mindset, and truly it did. And I could tell you that for 3 or 4 weeks it did.
And maybe I get it. It's yeah, I know it.
Labor Day weekend.
This is
And
yes.
from
So
that
the
point,
bottom.
it really just kind of skewed it. And again, it's not.
So the bottom right corner is me because I know the shirts are the same or kind of the same. Yeah, I'm just kind of sitting and going back through old videos and talking about mindsets and where I was and this whole journey through online ministry. I mean, I've been recording for almost 2 hours now, and we're just through October of 2020. So I still have a whole another 6 months to go through. So yeah, this is actually an old video of mine that I posted after going without. If you're yeah, well, I mean, it is technically that's the Be Kind shirt from Rebecca's Reason. I'm wearing a Flint Firebird shirt now. So, and I know my hair is kind of, it's kind of just layered behind me. So it's kind of that shortness at the same time. It's fun. That was when I first turned the video on. It was funny to me how similar it looked. But yeah, I wanted to sit back and listen to this video because I love listening to the reflective type talks I do because it shows me kind of the picture of like where my mind was at the time and the growth that has taken place. Gone home and cut your hair. It is going to happen soon because this is getting annoying. My hair is getting annoying for me. So it probably will happen soon, but probably after Easter so I can end the Numbers of Lent series with the same hairstyle. I don't know. I'm making excuses at this point. But yeah, I just like going through all these and seeing kind of where I was in the moment and learning about the growth that has taken place over the course of this journey and from where I started to now. And I just love kind of sitting and reflecting. So, but this video, I remember the seriousness I took with this video, and this video would have shown kind of the more raw, like emotional perspective of where I was coming from. So that's why. So, yep. And I'm quiet because, like I said, I'm just sitting here and kind of basking it all in and collecting thoughts and all that kind of stuff. So that's where we're at right now. So I'll get to some more fun, lighthearted videos later.
But it's true. And I'm not saying this as a way of pity or of attention seeking. I'm saying this as a way of I need to show at the same time that life does get in the way. So either way, we were doing that, and amongst the variety of emotions that I made too, trying to balance that mindset of trying to do what's best for the church and for my ministries in the terms of public safety, public health, reopening, the cans and can'ts above it all. I was battling that mindset while also battling the mindset of trying to come up with creative content for the online ministry. And for those that don't know, it's me. I'm the one that kind of comes up with all the ideas. I've mentioned how much it's been a blessing to write actually our two youth lessons during this time, and it has been super fulfilling. But at the same time, it's been difficult. And I'll explain more about that in a minute. But yeah, I'm a one-man crew here, so
I was a one-man crew. I've been thankful that people from our youth and church have been super helpful in stepping up.
And scheduling myself again, aside from Fall Bible Focus. So I've been doing all this myself, and as well as and I want to phrase doing the protocols and everything for my ministries, have kind of come from myself. Now I have sought out wise counsel from it to help me kind of conglomerate everything together. But at the end of the day, it was just kind of all me that was piecing everything together. And to have that strenuous mindset kind of clashing almost for 2 or 3 weeks, I was running into a battle of very much mental fatigue that was correlating into physical fatigue. And then that's kind of where it led to this past week, the week of the 28th. Excuse me. So obviously doing that.
It's a lot. You can get down the rabbit hole of video editing and just spend all day on it. I say as I just finished the Living Last Supper video. Oh yeah, and and I praise God for being blessed with getting a better computer and better setups and all that kind of stuff, because it's obviously made it way easier. But I remember when I was recording with an old camera, old computers with slower processors and crappier components, like how I was recording videos before I got wise enough to try and record and edit on the same PC, which meant I needed a stronger PC. I was transferring files from via my OneDrive because I didn't have a flash drive with me here. And in the early stages, it would take hours because my internet was so terrible. It would take hours for a video to download or to transfer over from my laptop PC to my OneDrive, and then I'd end up having to download it from OneDrive to my desktop so I can upload it into the editor and then work on rendering it and then the edit. And like 90% of my work week, like March through June, was I was waiting on edits to take care of. So yeah, editing can just be a whole rabbit hole of a system to do. And thankfully, like I've learned the kind of the beauty in just raw content. And I know, Elizabeth, your editing or the videos you edit and my own stuff can be two different things. But like all the fun streams, all the gaming streams that we've done on like I've just been enough to snip, cut beginning to end, try and find some dead space to cut out and chop and go. And thankfully that's all I do. And it works for me. I'm happy with it. And there's literally always one more thing you can do. You are your own worst critic. I am also my own worst speaker. Yes. 1000% yes. I am one that will do everything until I pass out. And I say that more figuratively, but sometimes almost literally. And yeah, there's always that one more thing I focus on that like, it's not good enough and it's never good enough and I'm never going to be good enough. And that voice has always been one of the loudest things in my head, and especially in this stage of the online ministry, because like I said, and kind of said it in here so far, is like balancing this in-church workload and all the administrative stuff and all the kind of extra stuff, because I'm trying to test waters with fundraising techniques and all that kind of stuff and administrative stuff, and like I mentioned here, the struggles with the protocols and the reopening process, trying to formulate all that and formulate an online ministry to make fun lessons, engaging lessons, kind of entertaining content that'll distract you from the crap that's going on in the world. Like all that is like, oh my gosh, like, and both sides are suffering because I'm not able to dedicate both sides to it. And it's always, there's one more thing going on here and then there's one more thing going on here. And the spread of just being buttered too thin, it's like, and then knowing that I go into it not making the best stuff, it's like, yeah, it sucks, and you failed at it, and all that kind of stuff. And thankfully, that mindset has grown to a healthier perspective. That it boiled down to a case like you boiled down to a case of like, I do the best I can with what I got, and it's gotten better, and it's way better than what it was back at this point in my online career. And I'm super thankful for the growth that has happened just between this point and now, because it's only 6 months, and I shouldn't say it's only 6 months. 6 months is still a long time, but the growth that has taken place in this has just been so eye-opening and so life-changing. And like I said, I'm going to talk more about like the 2021 side of things here soon, but because I gotta wrap up, we're 43 minutes away from ending, and yeah, so it's been a journey. I mean, I can't say much more than that.
During that period, I wasn't sleeping on the bus because I was worried about both the reopening side of things and the ministry side of things.
So I've had sleep issues for 6 months.
My sleep schedule was definitely all jacked up, so I was maybe averaging like 3 to 4 hours of sleep, and still coming in working full 40 plus hours. And I started on the 28th. I started writing part 4 of Kicking Anxiety Out, which you saw yesterday morning. And I had a couple. I had a meeting, and I had a couple like impromptu conversations that were productive, but were just time consuming. And I'm not discrediting, and I'm not putting down those conversations in that meeting that I've had. I'm not doing that in the slightest. But it was just a case of time management. And the amount of time, it's all of that, and it just wasn't happening. So, but we get through Monday, and I'm exhausted. And head went off at 2:30 in the morning. Lucky me. Couldn't figure out why.
Oh, that story. Oh, that week. I remember that now. Oh my gosh. So, our house got updated with proper smoke alarms, and actually, it's sitting behind my green screen right now. But I remember this smoke alarm went off at 2 in the morning, and so I had gotten like an hour of sleep by this point. Couldn't figure out why. We were trying to figure out like what happened, what's going on. My sister's room was just across the hall from me, so we're both up trying to figure it out. We were up until 4 because it had gone off 2 more times, trying to decide what smoke alarm, because there's one here, there's one in the bathroom next door to me, there's one outside in the kind of the foyer area of the stairs here, and there's one at the bottom of the stairs, and there's one next to the kitchen door. So that's like 6 smoke detectors in one area, and we're just figuring out what's causing this, what's going on, what's going to happen. And it got 4 o'clock, and she finally went back to bed, and I said, I'm just going to stay up and see if it's mine, what's going on. So I was up. And I remember that day I got like a total hour of sleep. And I know I said I wanted to watch it, but that's a long video, and I want to get going with it. It's very overwhelming, but I think you've done a better since Advent in prioritizing and not burning out. There's only so many hours a day, and God is using every bit of what you put out there. Yes, and that's the one thing I've learned, is to not burn myself at both ends like I was doing. And I've definitely gotten better at that. I still struggle with time management stuff, but if what's going on in my house or my brain is true, everything kind of makes sense. And I don't want to talk about it because A, it's not confirmed, and B, as I said in the videos, my life, not ours. But yeah, so, and I definitely felt better, and I felt less critical over the videos. The lesson videos now, and especially the Minecraft videos, which have been so fun and have flexed like this creative brain power that I haven't felt like I've been able to flex in a long time. And yeah, I mean, I can't really say much more than it. Just, I've felt less critical of my own work and less critical of the work we've been able to produce. And now we're finally getting back. I at least feel, truthfully, that we're getting back into that early simplicity of what kind of like the early part of the pandemic, the May through June part of the online ministry was the simple sit behind a camera, give a lesson, have fun with it, and then hey, we're going to stream Friday night, have some games, and we'll distract ourselves for a couple hours just to enjoy kind of this peace and, you know, sanity in our own lives again. And I truly feel like we're getting back there. There's still some areas I want to tweak to really drive that point home, but we're getting back there again. And when I say it's like an overwhelming feeling, it really is, but it's a heartwarming feeling all at the same time, because it's like I've locked in. I finally feel locked into, like, I know the goal of what I want. And it had been such a long time because, I mean, you can see it here. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of content in 9 videos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 videos, and actually 7 different videos right here. It's great that you've been able to silence that inner critical voice. Yes, silence might not be the right word, but he's definitely quieted down. And I've just kind of let things be what they be. And obviously, I'm not going to publish something for the sake of publishing something. I'm giving its dedicated time that's needed, and I'm just able to feel, maybe not confident at the time, but feel good enough to be like, yes, this is it. But part of the issue that I've really had, in utmost honesty, is, you know, online ministry, and Elizabeth can agree to this, has made us flex in so many different ways and try so many different things that it's hard to really throw a dart at the board and see what sticks. So, and as you see right here, 7 different videos covering 7 different topics. The Where Have I Been? A sit down. Kicking Anxiety Out. Lesson. Children's lesson. Mission project announcement. Sunday school. Stream. New lesson series. 7 videos in 9 days covering 7 different topics. You wonder why I've lost my mind. It's this idea, it's something I struggle with, is just trying to put all these ideas together at one time and acting on all of them at once. And can I just share this advice? Don't do that. Just don't. It is so life-saving to not do that. And it's funny, I've been able to kind of sit and reflect the last couple weeks and see some of the stuff that's been going on both at church and in my own life that's like things that I've wanted to do that are coming to fruition. It's like, it's a case that God has shown that there's certain things that just, the timing ain't right. And even with this whole situation now and this new recording setup that I have, it's like, and Elizabeth knows this too, I've been trying to create more kind of separations from work and home barriers to kind of create this healthy, you know, life. Go figure. And now my desk and all this, and I wish I could show you, but I don't have a kind of an easy way to show you, is separated away from my main room. So it's in this little like cubby alcove area. It's kind of cute. But it's now in this space to create this separation. And I know when I'm done, I can get up and actually walk away from it and not see it. And it's so just refreshing to have that finally available to me. Learn about 7 things, teach about 7 things, technical expertise to record, edit, post, publicize 7 different things. That's way more than you can do in 7 days, and that's my number for today. Yeah, and I think the children's message I have for Easter talked about the number 7 a little bit, too. I think I was going to, or I changed it after Pastor gave some edits to it. So, yeah, no, you can't do it all at once. And I've learned to really let some things sit and fester for a decent period of time. I'm not going to say a long time, but probably a month or 2. And, you know, when I feel comfortable to try it out, you know, it's a case like with most things, you throw it at the wall, see if it sticks. If it does, throw it again. If it doesn't, throw it back in the drawer and pull it out when it's ready again. And that has been such a healthy mindset for me when it comes to this, because like now with currently what I'm working on, and I know I'm talking now and I'm supposed to be reflecting, but now what I'm working on has all, 90% of it is all administrative. Like there's no new projects, if you will, that I'm working on. I mean, all of what I'm working on really is, aside from lessons, it's all administrative stuff, which is fine. I love it. And it's given this ability to, again, kind of create this realm of simplicity, but it's given me this hard focus of just locking in to making the best Minecraft lesson videos and making the best children's messages and making the best this and making the best that. And, in the streams could be better, but I'm just bad at games. But the fact of just being able to sit and talk and relax, and again, kind of that developed into its own realm. It's like, it's been so nice. I mean, I can't say much more than that. It's been so nice. And yeah, we, and I'm not, oops. Okay, came back. Sorry. My live video said it cut. And then this, thank you, Hope, because she pushed me to do this, and I say push, she encouraged me. But our Let's Chill stream comes to life. And it's my first Animal Crossing stream. And is it good? No. I'm off here, Mark, putting the finishing touches on. Living less up and having to bed. Have a good night. Have a good night, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining me for this reflection. I've been so happy to have your input in all this and have your thoughts. It's been fun. Have a good night, Elizabeth. Sleep well tonight.
I'm currently
Changed my setup. Oh, that's my old lighting system. Back when I had these bright lights instead of, my nice ring light that's now so far away and doesn't whitewash me. Back when I thought I had a healthy setup for my bed. Did I?
Time got away from me.
Oh.
Yes, I am slightly late. Friday night, and I was like, oh, there's so much cleaning I need to do this time, Apple! I could have done that from the oh, I'm so dummy. Do I need to make a shovel? Nope. Critterpedia does not show me how to make a shovel. I don't have the recipe to make a shovel. Yes, yes! Kind of where I wish they had a grid system. Like, to not try and do everything at once, but to try to just make good stuff and do good things. I wish their indoor, at least our McDonald's, our indoor, so, did you proper?
Oh, showing off my lights. Why did I do that?
Did you put the rice river in arc yet?
Oh, that's right. Kenny was showing me how to. But this was such a fun time, and Bob still exists, and it's been 5 months of having Bob with us, and we're gonna see him tomorrow for our Games and Chill stream. But this is just such a fun idea, and I'm so glad Hope really encouraged me to play Animal Crossing. It was fun, and it just started this whole theme of Let's Chill videos, and I just love it. And yeah, and then it just kind of tapers on with all kinds of stuff and games and yeah. And here's the first video of, well, the first update video of 2021. And I don't even know where this got announced.
What's up, guys? Sorry this is a little bit late. I solidified February stuff. A lot to go through, so let's actually just dive right into it. Sundays. Sundays as of, this is January 11th as of recording this, so I don't know when this is going up yet, but as of January 11th, there's the Wonder With Me at 9 a.m., as always, on our Facebook page, but there is that, and as of yesterday, so as I said, today is January 11th for me, so as of yesterday, you might have seen that Kenny, our assistant leader, he is streaming on his Twitch as of right now. Twitch.tv/AnonymousOwl Sunday nights from 7 to 9 as place of our second stream. And what does that mean? I have only went down to one stream, and I'll talk about that. Kind of a quick last minute thing that he threw together.
So yeah, like I was saying earlier, I wanted to take the first part of January and really just sit back and reflect to be like, what does our ministry need? Like, what is the content that we really want to tighten up? And I remember just sitting back and be like, you know, lessons for sure, the Let's Chill streams for sure. And is that it? Do we... Because if that's the case, which is fine to have that limited amount, because that little amount you can take and strengthen to be such a positive response. And... yeah, and I remember that happening, but then towards about this part of the month, I got hit with a couple projects that just weren't scheduled, and it kind of threw me off my rhythm of just that kind of laxed peacefulness. So, and then it just started this whole journey of crap, and I'll talk about that as I close today. And then it's just been, and then these videos. Oh my gosh, these videos. I will honestly say, and this is no offense to the other videos that I have made throughout this series, or throughout this time, the children's message, the time with children's message that I am able to give on Sunday mornings during worship have been, truthfully and honestly, one of my favorite video series that I've gotten to throughout this entire journey. And it's been this case of just short, quick, creative bursts of messages to just give. And again, this idea that it gives me this ability to flex some creative muscles and try and connect. And all through Lent, I've been doing a series called The Numbers of Lent. So where that came from is Pastor and the design team created a series called The Words, what is it? The Words of Christ? Final Words of Christ, where it talks about Jesus' last words on the cross. So I wanted to kind of give something along that line, but what? And it made me think, like, the numbers. She's doing words, I can do numbers. And throughout this entire journey, I've been able to give different numbers of what Lent represents. So I've done the number 40, 3, 2, and then in person. Yes, Time with Children is coming in person. I actually have Easter's message done and written, and Pastor's okayed it. So that is coming live on Monday, on Sunday, which actually you can come up. I know we talked about it a little bit today, but you can come up technically, because I mean you're a child technically. So, but you can come up technically. At least I'm okay with it. So, and I actually wrote the next two. I wrote overviews for the next two lessons as well. So the 4th, the 11th, and the 18th are written-ish, but are ready to go. So, but Elizabeth and I talked about making these videos kind of separate content, so that way our page can get the benefit from them if they might not be able to join our in-person worship or our worship services. And we did this, and I was kind of sitting here last week and was really just reflecting on, like, what can we do to kind of advertise these a little bit more? And I changed how we did the titling and all that to kind of fit my title scheme, and I created these thumbnails, which let me see if I can pull it up real quick, because I love the thumbnails I've been able to create with this series, and I'll kind of give you guys a sneak peek. It hasn't been okayed yet, so it may change, but kind of give you guys a sneak peek at what I came up with for that week, for the next for the next services. So this is the Numbers of Lent one, and I've had a really fun time creating these, and it doesn't take a lot of creativity for me to kind of flex. I just looked at Numbers background, found this, I saw this, I was like, oh cool, and then I kind of just chose some different default fonts and adjusted them. It's like, oh, they're so pretty, and it works out. I gotta create the one for Sunday, but I don't know how we're doing Sundays yet, so I'm gonna talk to Elizabeth a little bit more detail about that soon to kind of catch us up. So, but yeah, and it's that whole part's been fun. And then I've also, I guess I can just put Canva over here, the new one. So the new series is about kind of messages from the disciples after Jesus has come back, or after Jesus is resurrected, and we're going to talk about the story of doubting Thomas, and then we're going to talk about kind of the disciples, and I think they mentioned James specifically, to talk about kind of like how their reactions were. And it made me think of and I was trying to read both and just I was talking to God, it's like, give me the theme. And the first thing that came to mind was shock value. And I happened to look it up, and I guess I'm pitching this at the same time, which wasn't part of my plan, but hey, some of God's best work comes unplanned. And I was deciding what to do for it, and I don't know the guy. This guy is he was part of the process, so I don't know who he is. So forgive me. He's just Mr. Default Man, which I'm okay with. So, but with the story of doubting Thomas, obviously you have to talk about doubt. So, and all this was typed into the photos, doubt, found it, and it's like, okay. So I thought shock. I tried to find an electric font, but nothing really came up. So I just kind of chose a bright white and yellow. It might change because it kind of makes it hard to read, in my opinion. And then everybody else was surprised. So, and the reason I chose those two is to give an overview. I wrote, Jesus being resurrected seems to be a shocking thing, right? I mean, humans can't come back from the dead, but Jesus was a special human. By the power of God, Jesus rejoined humanity just 3 days after his crucifixion, and when it comes time to meet his disciples, there was a huge shock value from the disciples. Over the next 2 weeks, we will discuss the reactions of the disciples to seeing Jesus again after they saw and knew that he had died. And I defined shock value as the surprised reaction of people that see what seems unexpected. So, and I just thought, what better way to talk about kind of the after Easter surprise is shock. So, get ready for that. Like I said, I don't think Pastor has confirmed it, but I know we talked about it a little bit. So, that may be coming. But yes, to answer your question, yes, Time with Children is coming to an in-person service near you. And then all of this is just catching up. As I mentioned, I'm moving all YouTube content back over here, trying to line it all and get us back in line, which I have. And right now, the biggest thing that I'm dealing with is just getting these streams up and running. So, and today we had a video go live, today's episode of the Numbers of Lent, which published today. Not having the best reaction, but it's only been live for 4 hours. So typically I don't see decent results until after 13 or after a day. So and yeah, and then I've just been working on playlists and series and all that kind of stuff to get it out there and to just adjust and all that kind of stuff. And here we are. 1 year later, who would have thought that we're still online? But I feel like we have just it's just been a whole lot of growth in the process, and I guess as I wrap up, I'm gonna get sentimental, so bear with me. Um, as I mentioned, like the beginning part of 2021 has just been rough for me. Not gonna lie, not gonna sugarcoat it. Without going into too much detail, I made a goal for me for this year to be stronger. 2020 kind of knocked me down, knocked me out. I wanted 2021 to be the year of getting stronger. But throughout the first quarter of this year, I've really forgot the concept that in order to get stronger, you have to learn what you're weak in. And this part of 2021 has shown me my own weaknesses in a very kind of eye-opening, exposing way. But to manage, to try, like I said, to try and balance life out with everything here has been rough. And I'm not going to say that it's been a cakewalk. It's not, but it's an ever-growing journey that I've been thankful to take part in. And the one thing I will always hold dear to my heart throughout the experience of an online ministry like this is you guys have really given me the ability to live out my dream. And it's hard to say. It's hard to kind of say that, in all honesty, but the truth is still there. Ever since I really started diving deeper into like my biblical studies and doing Bible studies and all that, and now I have an official study Bible that is sitting right here because I was writing messages this morning. You guys have just given me the ability to live out my dream that I didn't know could be an actual reality. You guys have given me a platform to talk about the Bible, to teach the Bible to you guys, and to also do other stuff as a way of just trying to be this light into other people's, dark times. And, Mark, I'm going to cry. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to make it that way, but I have to. And it's just been such an uplifting experience overall. And not only has this been a fulfilling experience, and you guys have been able to, I've been able to get blessed with, I said, a new setup. Like, I'm running like almost a $2,000 setup, and it's like, what? How? I mean, a new monitor, 2 new monitors actually, new tower, new speakers. I have an actual microphone, a ring light, a capture card for my Switch so I can game. It's like a year, or I guess I can't say a year ago now, 2 years ago. It's like you told me this was going to happen and I would never have believed you. And, I grew up watching Let's Players like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye, Game Grumps, whatever. And I grew up watching just the YouTubers overall, and I knew what they did for me. And, I've always, deep down in my heart, I've always wanted to kind of return the favor. And at the same point, and kind of like, a life goal has been to leave the world in a better place than I found it. And obviously that's such a big, broad goal. But I can leave the bits of reality bits of life that I've been able to experience and try and leave those in a better way than I found it. And to be able to hopefully change, shed light, change, be a positive role model and influence on those that I meet in those projects I work on, those that I help, all that kind of stuff, to just leave a positive reaction. I don't know how else to phrase it. And this year of online ministry has really given me the ability to do that. And even though I beat myself up a lot and I'm my own worst critic about it, it's just because I have such a big goal of doing that I live in this fear of like letting you guys down and not being able to follow through with you because, and it's weird for me to say this at the same time because I mean, this platform here, our Facebook page, is a tiny platform when you consider other bigger influencers. But I mean, our Facebook page has 109 followers. And trying to imagine 109 people, especially in today's time, but trying to imagine 109 people in one room is like, that's a lot of people. And when you have that amount of people coming to your page and seeking out your content to either teach them about the Bible or to, shine some light on a dark day for them by your funny, stupid jokes and some crappy gameplay, you just never know who you're going to connect with. And, our page has reached out to people in different spots. I think I was able to look it up in the Creator Studio. Let me see if I can pull it back up real quick. When I look at our insights, I think I can look at, give me a minute. I think our page might not be big enough to yeah, it's not a lot, but I can say, like, we've reached people in different countries. Like, what? and I'm looking, and this is just within the last week. We've reached 5 people from the Philippines, 1 person from Malaysia, or we've reached 5 followers from the Philippines, 1 follower from Malaysia, 1 follower from India, and 1 follower from Canada. What? Like, what? I'm sorry. Huh? I mean, are we not just going to talk about that? It's such a mind-blowing experience to me that we can do that and feel normal about it. And it's like, how does that happen? How have I been given a platform to do that? But we've done it. And it kind of, like I said, it kind of harks back to that goal of just trying to be that, trying to fulfill the Great Commission, if you will, and just trying to be that light in the world for people that I don't even know. And like I said, I get to be my own worst critic about it, because having 109 people follow you and do what you do and support you and what you do, it's overwhelming. Because you just don't want to screw up, and you don't want to let anybody down. And I have lived in that constant fear of just letting you guys down, because I know it's not the best, and I know I'm not the most entertaining guy, and I'm, and since it's a church channel, we can't play all the more popular games like Resident Evil and Call of Duty Shoot 'em Man or whatever the kids are playing these days. But you guys have just given me the ability to kind of do what I want. And I say that in a kind of a sheepish way, because I'm not really supposed to do that, but you guys as a community have been so supportive of the content I've been producing for a year now that I don't know where I would be without you. You guys have grown to be such a huge part in my life that imagining what it would be like without you is unfathomable to me. And you guys have helped me grow, not only as a youth leader and a children's leader and a ministry leader, but as a person, helping me overcome my fears of putting myself out there, and my fears of kind of, going public with a lot of content ideas. And you guys have let me experience a whole lot of different things. I mean, I've done everything from meme reviews to craft shows to gameplay footage to drawing streams to bad Bob Ross painting ideas to all that kind of stuff. I mean, as well as like doing many different lesson series. I think I counted once before, and it's like we've done now playlists. Nope, series. So no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've done 9 lesson series, 12 actually lesson series over the course of this online ministry. We've done 12 of them. As well as, I've had the ability to give 2 or 3 actually children's Sunday school series. And like I said, we have the Let's Chill streams, and now I'm doing a time of children's lessons. You guys have given me this ability to just do different things and, try and keep some regularity on this channel, which hasn't seen any since July of last year. But you guys have just given me the ability to just do it, and no matter what I do, I'm continuously met with such positivity and kindness, and I'm just like, how do I process all this? And here we are, 1 year later, and wow, what a journey it's been. And I pray that as we go through the rest of time, but the rest of the foreseeable future, and working our way back to in-person learning or in-person church and Sunday school and core, that not only do I hope I can provide such a fulfilling experience in person again, but still be able to just be there for you guys, because I know the pandemic has done a number to our mental health, I mean mine included, and I know a lot of the darkness and a lot of the craziness that our brains can go through, and if I can be of any help in that way, whether it's turning on a stream of mine and just sitting there and hanging out for a couple hours a week, or turning on a lesson and letting the Word of God just overwhelm you, and hopefully I pray that I teach it in such a way that you connect with God. And when it comes to all that kind of stuff, I just want to make you guys proud. And like Elizabeth said, I mean, God's been able to use a lot of what I put out there in many different ways to reach both the young and the young at heart, as we've learned to say. But I've just, in a time where I don't know what I'm doing from day to day, this platform has been such a solid foundation for me, and I just can't be any more grateful for it. And thank you. And I'm excited to see where the future takes us. I will say there's going to be more Minecraft lessons coming out for April. I'm excited for them. I love the builds. The builds were so fun to do. And trying to learn how to be animated in a blocky Minecraft is way more difficult than it seems. But I hope they're just fun at the same time. And they're short. The lessons are 5 to 10 minutes long. But it's been fun to do that. But I've also missed doing stuff in front of the camera too. So I know I talked about doing some rants or some podcasts, and that's still on the table. I just want to create. And doing this, and like I said, going back to Sunday school soon, hopefully will be, I'll have to get some new lessons creating, but I'm excited to see those lessons. I've thought about them a couple times now. And the future, hopefully post-pandemic, whenever that gets here, and hopefully it's soon, I just can't wait to see our ministry flourish like it did. And I pray that our reach can just grow bigger and bigger as each day goes on. Like I said, I hope that, like I said, any of the ramblings that I've had over the past year now, and all the different lessons and videos and fun stuff I've tried to flex on y'all, and you know, I've tried to give at the same time to y'all, and I just hope it's meant something. You know, I can only hope that, but I leave that to God. You know, God definitely gives. I always try to pray before videos go out to be like, God, you know, use these however they need to be used. You know, don't, or just put them in front of people that need to see them, or something along that line. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point because my thoughts are overwhelming me, but I just don't know what to say. You guys have been so good to me, and even amongst all the craziness that I've gone through for you. No, I kid. But even after all the stuff that you guys have let me do and are still here, and we're still growing. Like 86 likes, 109 followers. That is insane to me. Because, like I said, I'm trying to imagine 189 people that want to just follow what our ministry is about, and is heartwarming. Because I'm just the dude sitting behind a camera talking about Jesus and playing games terribly. But there's people out there that are willing to sit through that. And, you know, and the one thing I never really touched on is like the 52 weeks of prayer. Like, that has also been one of my favorite parts this year, because again, I mentioned at the start of the year that prayer is going to be our weapon, and it really has for me personally. Prayer has been one of those times where it's gotten stronger, and the images that I've used, and I'm gonna give me a minute trying to figure out stuff. I need a third monitor. No, I don't. There we go. And the images I've used to kind of showcase these have grown and matured in ways I didn't think was going to happen. So give it a minute and let it load up. You know, because I went from listening to him like this to then putting the prayers and all that on there, and then these new ones. Guys, I'm excited for these. I put a lot of heart into these. A lot of heart. I just pick the pictures like I do thumbnails. But look at this. Look how pretty this is. Look how pretty this is. And this one. I mean, all of these are just so pretty to me. And it's meaningful just to look at. And, you know, to try and offer just a little bit of prayer throughout the week. And it's a short prayer that comes out once every week. You know, and I try to, you know, I've been sharing them throughout the week because, you know, I've been doing bad at sharing them because, you know, life is crazy. But just that little bit, and I'm watching, you know, I get to kind of pretty much live watch the responses to how people view these prayers. And, you know, like Monday's prayer, I shared out, 65 people reached. 65 people have gotten to hear this prayer, or read this prayer, if you will. And I went back today and shared last Monday's prayer, the 22nd. And that post, 121 people reached. 121 people got to hear this prayer. And I'm going to try and do that for the next couple ones as well for tomorrow and Friday. But like I said, without you guys giving me this platform to do it, I wouldn't be able to. Not effectively. So, but I'm out of time. Again, just from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And as I said, I pray I can make you proud with the content we have, make you want to share it and tell your friends about me, and, join in on my own stupid fun and stupidity, and also Bible sharing, that too. But I'm excited for the future, and I can't wait to see what comes next. So thank you all for joining me. This is Staying Up on here on Facebook. Join me tomorrow for part 2 of the Spring Break Stream Week, where we're just going to sit down and play a bunch of party games. Probably not Jackpot, but I think I heard that the new Among Us map is out. So I think we're going to play some Among Us. So, but thank you nonetheless. I pray you have a wonderful night. And as always, after a year of me saying this, as always, stay blessed. Thank you. Good night, guys. Night. Goodbye. Bye. I gotta hit stop streaming. Bye.